live and that I'm able to, well, that you guys are able to hear my audio and stuff like that. So it's a little test. We're gonna smoke some cigars and then we're gonna chat for a bit because I have a lot to talk about right now. So I'm like, you know what? Why not smoke a cigar here live and talk about some topics with you guys? Hopefully some people can come through. Hopefully that this is working. I want to make sure that it's actually like popping up on the sub box as well. Got myself some tea, some black tea, honey, cinnamon, and then we're gonna pick a cigar and smoke. I figured, you know, why not, do it like this, off the cuff, off the script. So I do organize my points sometime and make videos for you guys that way, but I'm like, this would be a really, really good change of pace. Just something different. I got my Samsung right here. I got my iPhone right here. I'm like, you know what? Might as well just go live on that. I'm in the basement right now, especially since like the weather is really bad outside. I can't really like smoke cigars outside the way I want to. So like cigar yap sessions have to be put on pause, like the actual videos, but I can go live and smoke a cigar down here, have the door cracked and do it perfectly fine. Ooh. Is this working? Is this working? It shows that I'm live right here, but it's not showing anything on the app, like on YouTube. Whatever. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share the link. There we go. I had to share that link. I'm gonna open up the link on my phone, see if it's working properly, if there's audio and everything. I gotta make sure that the audio is working. You guys can hear me? You guys can hear me fine? Is everything working? You guys can hear me? You guys can hear me fine? Yeah, audio's working. There we go. It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working fine. There we go. We got Perdomo. We got a couple Perdomo cigars I picked up earlier. They were like a couple days ago, 2 days ago, I picked these up. I'm trying to think which one. I think I might do the 20th anniversary Sun Grown. I smoked that before on stream. Well, not on stream, on the cigar yap session on the video for you guys, and that was pretty fun. Actually, I haven't had this one before. This is Perdomo Habano. This one right here. I haven't had this one yet. I did have the 20th anniversary one before. I also had the 10th anniversary one before. We also have this one I never tried before. Lot 23. Perdomo. I never had this one before, so we'll see. We'll check it out. We'll check it out. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try this one out because I've had multiple 10th anniversary champagne, and I've had one of these, the 20th anniversary Sun Grown. So I never had this. I'm gonna try this one out. See how it is. Smells nice. You guys see this one right here. It's a bit of a sizable cigar too, so we're gonna be sitting on this one for a while. Should be fun. It's like the size of my iPhone. You know, it's here is smoke. I don't even know if I'm gonna cover topics. I have no idea if anybody's even gonna pull up to this. Shit, I might as well hop on TikTok and go on TikTok live, honestly, but it is what it is. We got some NBA games starting pretty soon as well. The Lakers play. Who are they playing? I gotta check the schedule real quick before we even mic this up, because they play in like 20 minutes. They play the Celtics. Yeah, they play the Celtics, and then the Thunder are playing the Mavericks at 9:30. I don't know. I might stream some Ghost of Tsushima later, honestly, on this fine evening. We gotta cut this, light it up, get started. This is good. This is good. I don't know. It's something about the Nicaraguan cigars that's really good. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna take a picture of this real quick. Yes, sir. I had to take a picture of this real quick because I gotta let people know what we puffing on this evening. Good day at work. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, there we go. Whew. All right, so we got a couple things we want to talk about. We got the whole DRAM situation that's going on right now in the market with Micron completely leaving the consumer market in regards to selling DRAM. So for a lot of you guys who've been under a rock, Crucial is a brand under Micron in which they were manufacturing things like DRAM, SSDs for the longest time, right? And because of the amount of money that's being put into AI infrastructure spending right now, and a lot of these data center build-outs for AI, there's a lot of money behind it. Whether it's through free cash flow from these companies, but now a lot of the money that's coming into the AI infrastructure spending is from a lot of debt. So whether it's from corporate bonds or creating special purpose entities in which a private equity firm is able to lend the corporation money through that special purpose entity so that the debt is not on their balance sheet. So there's a lot of debt being financed. Well, there's a lot of debt being structured to finance these deals to do the data center build outs. And what do these data centers need? They need a lot of GPU and a lot of RAM, as well as CPUs. But CPUs is not a big issue. Like CPUs are being pumped out like hotcakes nowadays. But all of the supply of DRAM, well, most of it is being shifted to data center. Micron said, we're done with the consumer business. We're going all in on enterprise and AI. We can see what's happening with DDR5 RAM right now. Even DDR4 is raising in prices. And I've been telling people for the longest, if you really need to upgrade your system, you should have been doing it already. Do it now. Because if you haven't been paying attention to what's been happening in this market, you're cooked. You're cooked. So Micron's gone. They're like, yeah, we're not making RAM. I think by like, this cat's going crazy. I got the cats down here. They're just all over the place right now. Whatever. You have Micron just completely exiting the business for consumer side and going all on the enterprise. In my previous video, NVIDIA has completely lost the plot. I talked about the RAM issue. This is before the Micron announcement. And I already told you guys in that video, I said the DRAM manufacturers are shifting their supply to enterprise, to AI. A day later, Micron just essentially confirmed what I already knew, which was that the DRAM manufacturers are shifting a lot of their supply. They're saying we're shifting all of our supply completely to enterprise, completely to AI, and we're not making DRAM for consumers. So the consumer market, you're losing like a good portion of DRAM, SSDs, all that stuff comes from Micron. Now Micron's valuation is going up. Their stock is going up. I mean, they've been going up for a while, since COVID. I mean, to be frank, a lot of these tech stocks have been doing great if you've been looking at the market. The issue is who's over leveraging themselves to build these data centers, to buy the GPUs and to buy the memory. Oracle comes to mind. There's been a lot of reports about how Oracle has a ton of debt on their balance sheet. Like if you look at their cash to debt ratios, there's so much debt on their balance sheet. Like they're over leveraged, so much so that I believe it was Morgan Stanley, yes, because I read this morning, and I was also I seen it on CNBC News. Morgan Stanley is trying to offload the risk of Oracle from their balance sheet, as well as a couple of other companies who are over leveraged in this whole AI business, right? By taking on a lot of debt and then doing the SPV, the off balance sheet debt financing that I talked about in my NVIDIA video, right? So also, this is going to crash. But I talked about this before. This AI bubble is not going to pop in the way people think it's going to pop. This isn't going to be like the .com bubble. This isn't going to be like the housing crisis. This isn't even going to be like COVID. It's going to be a very, very unique case in the way that this is popping. Now, there are similarities, right? How a lot of the debt that's being issued to these corporations to build these data centers, right? A lot of the debt that's being structured is being insured at a very, very rapid rate, much more than 2008 crisis levels, right? So what happens is I'm a bank and OpenAI says we need X amount of money to be able to invest into these data centers. So they're like, okay, we'll get you this loan at this rate, right? But then I, as the bank, to protect myself, I'm like, okay, I want to insure this loan against OpenAI in the event that they can't pay for it. So that's what they do. This was called collateralized debt obligation. The bank is paying a premium to insure the debt that they're issuing out to OpenAI. And that creates an entirely new security called a CDO, a collateralized debt obligation. So right now, the CDOs that are being structured around AI and a lot of the spending that's happening around AI and the debt that's being structured, it's being done at a much rapid rate than the 2008 housing crisis, which is why I'm saying this is going to be a very, very unique crash when it happens, but it's about the timing of it. And I don't think it's going to happen for a while because if you look at GDP growth, about half of the growth of GDP is coming from AI CapEx spending, building the data centers, getting the construction, the tech companies that are involved with this in regards to putting all their money and all their chips to the table and doing this. This is good. This is good. So it's simple, but it can become complex the deeper you go into it, right? But it's very simple stuff. Initially, they had free cash flow. They were investing into AI. It became this thing of, hey, America versus China. So you have the United States government getting involved and saying, hey, we want to beat China in this AI race. So spending is getting accelerated from everybody. Everybody's spending. Look at the Mag 7. Everybody's spending. But look at the stocks. The biggest issue is they're tackling this too fast. There's too much money getting pumped into it. Too much money. And it's moving too fast. Like a lot of the data centers simply, like, they built it already, but they don't have the power. They don't have the water to power the data centers. So there's a lot of bottlenecks that's happening. You're just sitting on the asset there and nothing's really happening with it. So to bring this back to gaming, because I went into like this whole financial spiel, like I love getting into the details of how the financing behind a lot of this works and how the debt is structured, because there's implications on what can happen if the debt isn't being paid off and how it can backfire. So to bring this back to PC gaming, right? So I'm mainly a gaming channel. I talk about gaming all the time. I play games, I talk about gaming, but also like to look at the financial markets. There are reports coming out saying that this DDR DRAM situation, the shortages that we're seeing right now, can last all the way up to 2027. We already see RAM kits overpriced, ridiculously priced. This is going to impact VRAM for GPUs pretty soon, and GPU prices are going to skyrocket. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. If you need to upgrade your GPU, do it now. If you desperately need to upgrade your GPU, do it now. I'm talking about people who are on RTX 2000. I'm talking about people who are on GTX, 1070s, 1080s, 1060s. If you're on Pascal, if you're on Turing, hell, you might even be on Ampere. Me, I have a 3090. I'm fine. I can run all my games flawlessly. And, the occasional video game is demanding, I'll tweak settings here and there. That's about it. So me, I'm fine. I can stick with what I have for another 2 years if I have to. My plan was always to wait for Zen 6 and for RTX 6000. I don't know what's going to happen with the next generation NVIDIA gaming cards. Because as soon as this hits DRAM, then if they do launch the 6000 cards when they're supposed to, it's going to be a paper launch. Much in the same way that the 4090 was a paper launch, Ampere for a little bit was a paper launch. Like, there's only going to be a very, very small supply of cards available. So that's when in my mind, I'm like, okay, do I just do the 5080 and call it a day? But also it's like, I can take that $1,000 and spend it on something else entirely. Rocky, yo, what's good? How's it going? Just chilling on this fine evening, yapping, smoking a cigar. But yeah, I'm doing great. Got off of work. I got some tea, got my cigar, just chilling. It's a good evening. But yeah, my plan with this whole DDR5 price hikes and everything was I was gonna wait till the Zen 6 CPUs come out, the next generation AMD CPUs come out, move from AM4 to AM5, get a new graphics card, overhaul my entire PC, or build an entirely new PC. And that was going to be my next generation PC. Now with the whole DDR5 situation that's happening, that's going to supposedly last until 2027, I'm like, I might as well just stick with what I have. That's it. I mean, I could get the 5080 and call it a day, but I'm still debating that because the 5080 is a good card and the pricing for a 5080 right now is great. So I don't know. I'm still debating that, but I'm thinking like next year is cooked for the PC market. Like I said, the the DDR RAM situation that's happening right now is also going to happen to VRAM. I talked about this in my previous video about Nvidia completely losing the plot and how they're completely shifting a lot of their supply towards data centers and AI. Micron is completely leaving the consumer market. Samsung, I read a report that the Galaxy division, the cell phone division, wanted to put in an order for more RAM for their phones, especially because their next generation phones are coming out next year during like February, right? Because they drop every February. Every February is a brand new lineup of Galaxy phones. And Samsung denied them RAM. Why? Because Samsung's making a killing as well as Micron to shift the supply of RAM to enterprise and AI. So Samsung's like, fuck you guys, we're making a killing over here. And I mean, the money is there to back it. If you look at AI CapEx spending for the year, this year alone, it's in the hundreds of billions of dollars that's being invested into building out AI data centers and selling hardware, selling the software, everything that's needed to build the infrastructure needed to train these large language models, to train them. It makes sense. It makes 100% sense on paper. If I'm not going to lie to you, if I'm Micron, if I'm Nvidia, I might do the same shit too. But there has to be a balance. Micron's like, look, we're completely done with the PC market, the consumer PC market. We're going all on the enterprise. I think that's going to backfire in the long term. In the short term, they're going to make a lot of money. In the long term, when all of this AI craze blows up and a lot of the investors, the institutional investors start to realize that, hey, the way that America is rolling out their AI roadmap and how they're executing it is inefficient. Because when you look at countries like China, and then you look at what global corporations are doing, they're opting for more efficient ways of developing these AI models, but a more efficient way to train them. So you said, can I explain how the AI part will blow up? Perfect question. Here's how the AI part will blow up. OpenAI is a perfect example. OpenAI and Oracle are two perfect examples of how it will blow up. OpenAI is on the hook for $1.8 trillion in spending commitments for AI infrastructure build out until 2030, right? OpenAI, a private company, they're not even publicly traded. They're a private company, only brings in anywhere from 14 to $20 billion reportedly. Now, OpenAI is going to need 300 million active users, paid users, to turn a profit. Do the math. You're on the hook for $1.8 trillion in spending commitments, and you only bring in anywhere from 14 to $20 billion in revenue. And then you need 30 million active users that need to be paid, like paid recurring subscribers of ChatGPT. Now, 90% of the users on ChatGPT are on the free tier. They don't pay for it. And your competition, not only here domestically in the United States, but globally, we're talking about DeepSeek, we're talking about AI. What is Alibaba's generative AI solution? It starts with a Q. I forgot the name of it. I'm going to pull it up right now. Give me 1 second. Pull it up right now on my phone. AI model. Qwen, yes, it's called Qwen. So you have DeepSeek and Qwen being adopted globally at a faster rate. Why? You can run it locally. It's 100% free, and it doesn't require you to have the latest and greatest NVIDIA chips to train it. Today, China had a company called More Threads, Moore Threads. More Threads hit, they launched their IPO today on the Chinese stock market. And they're supposed to be this NVIDIA competitor in regards to making chips. China is doing it from an open source perspective of, we're training our models, we're sharing the information, whereas America is completely closed source. DeepSeek proved to me that you don't need to spend trillions and trillions of dollars to build a large language model that can compete with OpenAI's ChatGPT, which they're getting billions and billions of dollars in investment from everyone. Amazon, Microsoft. Microsoft had to downgrade their sales expectations for their AI solutions because it doesn't sell. AI doesn't generate revenue. Let me say that first. The reason that this is going to blow up is because AI doesn't generate revenue. AI is being added to existing products that are already generating revenue for them. So think about something like Adobe Acrobat Reader. Think about Microsoft Office. AI is being integrated to it. You're not paying anything extra for AI. So from that standpoint alone, the fundamentals isn't there in regards to the profitability of AI. They're throwing trillions and trillions of dollars into it, but they're not making anything off of it. So it's a sunk cost already from that standpoint, when your global competitors can make a better product that's much more efficient and is free, and you can run it locally. You can't run ChatGPT locally. You can't run Claude locally. On top of the fact that these solutions are proven to have a lot of hallucinations. So in regards to the revenue earning potential of, generative AI, it's not there. Then let's talk about the debt perspective of this as well. These companies are leveraging a lot of debt to be able to buy GPUs, to be able to buy memory, to be able to build these data centers. So much so that they're doing off-balance sheet financing. They're creating a separate entity to funnel debt through so that it's not on their balance sheet. But I put this in an article in my previous video, and I talked about this on stream previously, how when you do that, there's still provision, even though the debt is not on your balance sheet. That's like me being able, it's like me, like from a personal perspective, right? You know how we have our own credit, right? We can take out credit under our name, but I can also open up an LLC and open up credit under an LLC. And I can structure debt through the LLC, but it's not under my personal name. So when I do that, the liability is not on me, it's on the LLC, the business. Now, businesses have a similar way of doing that through special purpose vehicles, special purpose entities. The debt is not on their balance sheet, so it doesn't affect their credit rating. It's in that special purpose vehicle. But there are certain provisions that state, if the underlying debt, the underlying bonds that are being issued to these corporations, if they fail, you're on the hook for it. OpenAI is structured like that, where Microsoft is pumping money into OpenAI and they're pumping money into these special purpose vehicles, right? But it's done so to where Microsoft is not on the hook if it fails. It's on OpenAI. So that's how this whole thing will blow up, is if the spending commitments and the debts are not being paid off. But there's insurance on the debt from the bank side. So the banks are like, well, our hands are clean because we can issue you the debt. It's the same thing with private equity. Private equity is saying, hey, we can finance this. You have to pay us back, but we're insuring it in the event that if you can't pay it back, we're still going to get our money. It's fine. The issue that comes with that is that when you start to issue out so much insurance on so much debt, eventually someone's not going to be able to insure the debt that needs to get paid back. Because if OpenAI fails, if Anthropic fails, and all these other companies fail, demand drops, the underlying bonds start to fail, and then you have an event like the 2008 housing crisis, but even bigger because of the amount of money that's being thrown into it. That's how it all falls apart. It's a house of cards. And when that happens, you better be ready to buy the dip. Buy the dip. Because all those tech stocks, it's going to be a fire sale. Buy the dip. DeepSeek and user-friendly AI lowers overhead costs, which is more profit though. I find DeepSeek to be pretty simple to use. I like it. I like DeepSeek a lot. I have it on my computer. I have it on my phone. I find DeepSeek to provide better responses than ChatGPT. I find it to be a bit more coherent than ChatGPT. If you remember, what was this back in March or April, one of those months when ChatGPT first hit the market, the stocks went down, share prices went down, but then it went back up. And I said, this is rigged, because it only took DeepSeek $6 million to develop their generative AI solution that's very competitive, if not better, than ChatGPT. And they don't even have access to the latest NVIDIA GPUs. All of the cards were old. What does that tell me? It tells me that you don't need to spend millions and billions of dollars on these H200 chips, right? You don't need those chips. You don't need H100s. You don't need H200s to run your models on. You don't need those cards. You don't need them at all. Plus, you don't need to spend billions and billions of dollars to train the model to be more competitive than somebody else. China is doing it the right way. 100% open source. It's efficient. And it doesn't cost us a shit ton of money to deploy it either. And when I look at OpenAI, $1.8 trillion in spending commitments, and you're not even a profitable company, how are you going to make your money? It doesn't make sense. And then Microsoft is downgrading. They're telling their sales reps, we're lowering our quotas. And it was leaked. That's why I said all of this is going to backfire at some point in time, but people have to be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. All it takes is one part of that system to fail. But it's always on the financial side. Financially, something has to fail for it to all come tumbling down. But the biggest issue is that when that happens, lots of people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their jobs. It's going to be crazy. AI can help in regards to efficiency in some cases, but now what you see happening with some companies, they're saying that it's not really helping. They fired a bunch of people and they're rehiring them. The amount of quote unquote productivity that they thought they were going to have by firing a bunch of people because of AI hasn't worked out. That was another grift. It was another lie. So what I'm saying is, I think AI is very useful. I think AI has a future, but it has to be executed properly. If it's not executed properly, then it's going to fail. It's a great example of this. It's in the title, Metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg yesterday announced that there's going to be a 30% cut on Reality Labs and Metaverse. From 2021 until now, Meta has lost $70 billion on Metaverse. Completely failed project. 100% failed. They thought it was going to be the future. It's going to revolutionize everything. And I made a video a couple months ago talking about how Metaverse has been an abject failure. I also mentioned the $70 billion in losses, how they've been throwing so much money at this project and it's yielded nothing of substance yet. Now he's doing like a 30% cut to reality labs. VR is on a decline. The virtual reality market is on a steady decline year by year. Like VR was here, it was hype. Now it's just, and don't get me wrong, virtual reality is an amazing technology. It's a great technology, but it's not being adopted at the rate that it was during the MetaQuest 2. And there's no killer IP, there's no killer piece of software on virtual reality to keep people engaged on it long term. People still like playing games on their console, their PC. People still like watching TV. Like the traditional forms of entertainment is still dominant. This is good. Perdomo Habano. Look at this. Really good cigar. Nicaraguan. Can't beat it. Dominican cigars and Nicaraguan, can't beat it. This thing's holding up well too. All right, let me open up my water bottle because my tea got cold. The tea got cold really fast. I figured, hey, why not go live? Do a cigar yap session live. Because I can't record a video right now. So I figured, why not do it live? I got to put this down real quick. Open this. Cool. I might play some Ghost of Tsushima later. I don't know. Like, I do want to watch basketball, but I'm not trying to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the evening goes. Yeah, PC market cooked. It is completely cooked. It's gonna get even worse. I thought the crypto mining boom was bad. Nah, this is gonna be worse. This is gonna be way worse than the crypto mining boom. Because with the crypto mining boom, it caused a huge shortage for GPUs. And then we found out later that NVIDIA was secretly selling a lot of their supply of graphics cards directly to crypto miners. In a similar way that, you know, the memory suppliers now are selling their DRAM to enterprise for AI solutions. It's going to be bad. Because now, if you're stuck on DDR4, there's literally no point in you switching to DDR5. No point. There's no point at all. Like I'm still on AM4 and DDR4. There's lots of people still on AM4. They're on like Ryzen 3000, Ryzen 5000. They're still on AM4. So if I'm AMD, if I'm Intel, I'm fucking pissed. Because I'm like, shit, I have AM5. I have the superior platform. And I can't get people to switch over to AM5. I can't get people on Intel to switch to DDR5. Because DRAM is fucked. And then Micron completely left the consumer business. And you see what's happening with RAM prices. If I'm AMD, I'm pissed. Because we have a new CPU generation coming out. And we want to market that CPU generation as the generation for people to move from AM4 to AM5. Because if you're like me, I'm on the very last CPU of AM4. The 5800 X3D. You have the 5800 X3D and the 5700 X3D. Both of those processors are like the last two processors to come out of AM4. Outside of like some APUs, right? Those are the last two that's come out, right? You have Ryzen 7000 and Ryzen 9000 on AM5, but Zen 6 is right around the corner. Zen 6 was going to be the processor to make AM4 people switch over because of the generational uplift that's going to be not only over Zen 5, but also over Zen 3. I'm on Zen 3D. That's a three generation uplift in performance that I would be getting from going from AM4 to Zen 6. And now with this situation, it's like, what the fuck? The only thing I could really do right now is buy a motherboard, an AM5 motherboard, and just sit on it. Because I have no idea what's going to happen to motherboards. So we'll see what happens with that. That's really the only thing I could really advise. If you need to upgrade now. Get what you need to get now. If you're still on AM4 and you don't have a 3D chip, get a 3D chip. Get the 5800X 3D, get the 5700X 3D, get some faster DDR4 and call it a day. If you need a new graphics card, buy your graphics card now. Because those GPU prices are going to skyrocket once VRAM prices follow suit as well. GDDR6 and GDDR7 prices, whew. We feel it the worst as consumers. Every time we get it the worst. I just got a notification on Discord. Let me see. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, this is still working. Yep, there we go. All right. What else do I have to talk about? We talked about metaverse failure. We talked about AI. I'll probably make a dedicated video talking about AI pretty soon. Just a dedicated video speaking about that because it's a very important topic and how it's going to impact gaming from the hardware side. But also the Steam Machine from Valve. Steam Machine's cooked. Steam Machine's cooked. I got to make a follow-up video to my previous Steam Machine video because Valve announced the Steam Machine like a week or two ago. I think about 2 weeks ago. DDR5 RAM prices have skyrocketed through the roof. I don't know what they're going to launch that thing, like what prices they're going to launch it at. They still haven't announced the price for the Steam Machine yet. And that's supposed to come out at the beginning of next year. So they're probably not even going to sell that thing at the volumes they need to make it relevant, honestly. And it's probably going to be overpriced because Linus Tech Tips talked to them and he said, hey, are you going to price it like consoles? And they're like, no, we're going to price it like a PC. I'm like, all right. What do you mean by that? Because what niche are you filling with that? Like, initially, I thought it was going to be a good machine to compete with Xbox. I'm like, nah, not anymore. I have to revise my prediction on that. I thought Xbox was cooked. Nah, Xbox would be fine. Xbox is cooked for different reasons. Man, this is good. It's not too intensive. Like, it has a great flavor to it. This is good. This is a good one. I'm gonna add this to the list. I'm glad I'm sampling this right now too. The Habano, Perdomo Habano. This is good. Can't believe it. You just got to enjoy the finer things in life, man. Smoke a cigar sometimes. Yeah, I think like, I don't know, probably like an hour or so. Go upstairs, stream some Ghost of Tsushima for the evening, chill out for the evening, playing that, finish Act 1, get into Act 2, and then call the night. It's Friday. The weekend is here. Hopefully everybody enjoys their weekend. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm going into work tomorrow briefly, and I'm taking off Sunday. That's about it. Hopefully everybody's making their money. Make your money. Enjoy your weekend. If you need to do any upgrades, do it now. Do it now because things are only going to get more expensive, especially SSDs. SSDs are the sleepers. Buy your SSDs now. Buy it now. There were some great deals around SSDs for Black Friday. Black Friday has some great deals for SSDs. I said, shit, I should have bought one. But nah. Then you got the Steam Winter Sale coming soon too. That's at the end of the month. So I'm like, yeah, I got some games on my wish list on Steam. We're gonna get some games. We're gonna get some games off of Steam. That's about it. We're gonna beat Ghost of Tsushima. And then I have to think about the next game I'm gonna play after Ghost. I do need to get on Battlefield as well because they dropped a new update. I haven't played that game in like, what, a week and a half, 2 weeks? And apparently they fixed audio. The audio's fixed, I'm on there. But that's probably something I'm gonna play off stream from now on. Nobody pulls up for my Battlefield streams. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the stream. I'm gonna finish this off. Everybody have a good night. I'll probably go live later playing some Ghost. And this is pretty much it for the stream. I'll probably do another one of these over the weekend, probably like Sunday night. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Either Sunday night or Monday. I don't know. We'll go live, smoke a cigar, talk about some topics, and move forward. Other than that, have a good night. Peace. This is like a test stream. I'm out.